In the fall of 2009, students at Christ Church assembled a student body along with many other student unions to rally in London. The goal is to petition the government against its college tuition increases. Not exactly knowing all the details, I managed to tag along with Christ Church's Steve Godwin, who oversees the welfare and education at Christ Church student.
The next general election, if it's on the government's manifestos before the next general election. But all I really have to say to you is thank you for being here, thank you for being a part of this. 3 years ago we brought the government down only to win by 3 votes. We hope this time to have them discuss in Parliament and make future changes to the policy that they're about to release. So, thank you, big wave of support. I couldn't do it without you, cheers.
Start trying to pile on the pressure for MPs and get them to sign up to our general election tuition fee pledge. It's just start to try, while we're all here and doing stuff now, start flyering cheap stations and kind of raising awareness of what we're doing today with the general public with some flyers. So with students, or students won't vote for them. Today we're particularly targeting the Labour and Conservative parties who've been engaged in a cosy stitch-up over the tuition fee review itself. And we'll have some things to say to the Liberal Democrats about some of their ridiculous policies about cutting student numbers later in the year. But for today, the focus is really on Labour and Conservative MPs and putting the pressure on. We told the government that this was happening, well, I'm not sure we got around to telling them on Monday this was happening, but we learned in today's Guardian that David Lammy, the Minister for Higher Education, is planning to attend this event. So he hasn't told us he's coming, but he's told the Guardian. So that's good news. I think it shows we're actually starting to put pressure on already, and I think lots of MPs with marginal constituencies are beginning to worry slightly about their prospects, which is the whole point of today's exercise.
Say no to student debt!
All in all, I was very impressed with the movement and response by the organized effort. In less than 48 hours, students assembled and put tremendous pressure on government officials to hear their cause.
Christ Church has brought twice as many students here as anyone else, all in their t-shirts. And secondly, Stevie G. Sean made the protest.
Over the last few months at least, Peter Mandelson has repeatedly referred to the fact that students need to behave more like consumers and have a more consumeristic attitude towards higher education. Does this government believe that a university degree is a product to be bought or sold? That's what I'd like to know.
Thanks, Naz. The question we had about the selling of the student loan book, and I'd also like to ask the Minister if you'll be signing our pledge, and if not, why not?
Danny? You said earlier that it was the Labour Party that lobbied for the cap to be left on tuition fees last time round. So is that an endorsement of the fact that a market in higher education would be a bad thing?
Being an American making my way into Parliament along with fellow students was encouraging and interesting on many levels. Several times the American model was mentioned. This theory of students as consumers being bought and sold is a worthy topic of discussion.
It will be, will this do anything to diminish access? Will this do anything to diminish participation? Is this affordable for students and the taxpayer? Those will be the questions that I ask, and I've got a very strong feeling that somewhere in this room is a future Minister for Higher Education, and that would be the question that you would ask too, I hope, if you're Labour.
Any more? This Labour government's far more scared of King White Clothes, the Labour rebels within the Labour ranks, than it is of a group of Liberal Democrats. Get that into your head. Because why? Why? I'll tell you why. We represent a different set of values and a different set of ideas, and we need young people to fight with us. And that is the battle against privatisation and market values.
I think the impact today's events had on the increase of tuition fees really driven and drilled down to the essence of our argument, which is that we want to know if tuition fees are to increase before the next general election. The ways in which we did that were to pressure government to lobby our local MPs and to make sure that they were in Parliament today and were ready for our questions. From the government's paper of the review of tuition fees that was released on Monday, we mobilised students the same afternoon with the NUS, the National Union of Students. and all day on Tuesday, and obviously we rallied support through London today. I think the support we have from MPs is now in their minds, so as they're making their decisions in Parliament, this is something that they're creating an agenda for. So in essence, we want to know before the next general election if tuition fees are on the rise, and I think today we really did have an impact on making MPs decide ultimately that decision.